Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we are walking through a huge technical transition, going from a casual standard user to a high-performance power developer using the Gemini API. Look, if you've been experimenting with the Gemini command line interface, but feel like you keep hitting this invisible brick wall whenever you try to run really complex tasks, well, you're in the exact right place, because today we're going to fix that.
So here is our blueprint for today. We'll start by overcoming those standard limits, then move right into building our professional AI infrastructure, crossing the authentication bridge, tuning our workspace environment, and finally, verifying that our new model performance is actually working.
All right, part one, overcoming standard limits. We really need to understand that rigid ceiling on our current accounts and why this upgrade is absolutely 100% essential for scaling up your dev workflows.
The divide between these two tiers is honestly pretty wild. Standard accounts are completely boxed in by strict usage caps. And even worse, they completely lack access to the high-reasoning Gemini 3 frontier model. Right now, Gemini 3 is heavily gated. You either need an AI Ultra membership, which runs about £120 a month in the UK, or you need to authenticate via an API key. By making the shift to a power developer, you're unlocking unlimited scalability and getting that exclusive access to advanced reasoning. And when you use an API key, you are firmly in the driver's seat. Instead of dealing with these arbitrary rate limits, you're charged separately for your input prompts and the model's output reasoning per 1 million tokens. To put that 1 million tokens into perspective, you'd have to be doing some seriously heavy, non-stop CLI work to even come close to hitting that threshold. It's just an incredibly efficient way to scale without artificial barriers holding you back.
Let's move on to step 2, professional Google AI infrastructure. This is where we actually lay the foundation by setting up a dedicated professional workspace. The very first phase of unlocking all this power actually happens right in your browser. You'll log into Google AI Studio using your standard account, and from there, you're going to create a dedicated project. Let's say you name it something like Gemini CLI course. Now, once it's created, it defaults to a free tier. To upgrade, you just click the Setup Billing link, which seamlessly routes you straight over to the Google Cloud Console.
Now, I know linking a billing account can sound a little intimidating, right? But don't let that stress you out. Google is actually super generous here. When you create a brand new Google Cloud billing account, you generally receive this massive $300 in free credits for your first 3 months. So you can experiment, build, and test out these frontier models without paying a single dime during that window.
And here's the really cool part, the immediate upgrade. Once your billing is linked, you literally just refresh the Studio page and boom, your project hits a Tier 1 paid plan. This is your green light. From here, you click Get API Key, generate one specifically for your project, and copy your new secret key. Quick side note though, treat this key exactly like a password. Keep it highly secure and please never share it publicly.
Okay, part 3, crossing the authentication bridge. We've got our keys safely in hand, so let's ditch the browser and step right into the local terminal. Inside your command line, you're going to run a really simple command, auth. Instead of logging in through a browser window with your standard Google account, you're choosing to authenticate via that newly generated API key. By pasting your secret key here, you completely bypass the standard login. And not only does this instantly secure your access to Gemini 3, but it also prepares your CLI environment for future advanced tools, like generating images directly in your project using upcoming features like Nano Banana.
Section 4, Workspace Level Environment Tuning. So we have our key, we're authenticated, but we aren't quite done yet. We still need to adjust some local settings.
Here's the thing, just holding the API key isn't a magic bullet. We actually have to explicitly tune our local environment to isolate and enable these frontier capabilities. We do this using workspace level isolation. Basically, this just means we're applying our advanced settings exclusively to the specific project directory we're working in. By doing it this way, you ensure you don't accidentally disrupt or break your global CLI configuration. It's the professional way to do it.
The execution for this is beautifully simple. You just run the Settings command in your terminal. You carefully navigate down and select Workspace, making sure those changes are isolated. And finally, you toggle the Preview Features option to True. Those 3 little steps are the absolute prerequisite for unlocking the Gemini 3 model in your project.
Okay, we've put in the work. We've built the infrastructure, crossed the authentication bridge, and meticulously tuned our workspace environment. But the ultimate question remains, did it actually work? Let's find out in Section 5, Verifying Professional Model Performance. We're going to use the model command to put these advanced reasoning capabilities to the test.
When you run the model command now, you will immediately see that Gemini 3 is enabled as an option, which is something standard users simply never see. You basically have two main ways to wield this power. You can pick Auto, where the system dynamically chooses the most appropriate model. It might use the lightning-fast Gemini 2 Flash for simple stuff, but it seamlessly scales up to Gemini 3 for complex reasoning. Or, if you want raw power every single time, you select Pro. This completely bypasses the Flash model and forces the Frontier Gemini 3 model to handle every single prompt you throw at it. Now, the true test of a power developer is verifying the output, right? Try giving your new system a highly complex prompt, like ask it to examine and explain an entire codebase. You might actually notice it takes just a beat longer as the model processes that deep reasoning. But when it's done, scroll to the very top of its response. You are looking for exactly this header: Gemini 3 Pro Preview. Seeing that text is your ultimate confirmation. Your setup is absolutely flawless.
And just like that, your transition to a power developer is officially complete. You are no longer held back by the rigid limits and basic models of a standard account. You've just unlocked unlimited scalability and the cutting-edge reasoning of frontier AI models right inside your terminal. So take a look at your current projects and ask yourself, what incredible, complex problems are you going to solve next with this technology at your fingertips? Thanks so much for learning with this explainer, and happy building.